Hi, colleagues. I'm very happy to introduce to you Teachmate, which is a chatbot application that I'm developing for teachers. It is meant to make your life easy. And of course, let me just try to see if I can show you how it can make your life easy. Now, Teachmate is an AI-enabled chatbot for educators to plan lessons, find resources, set tasks, and then engage in professional development activities, and of course, much, much more. Now, this is what I've been thinking, that teaching should become easy. At the moment, I find it to be quite heavy, to be very difficult, to be a full-time job. Of course, it is a full-time job. But I'm looking at a situation where you can use technology to make your life a little bit easier than it is at this moment. So let me just jump into why Teachmate. Now, Teachmate is designed to facilitate technology-driven teaching. The app makes it easy for educators to search and discover technology-based resources, plan lessons, and task using these resources and develop their knowledge and skills. The outcome is an educator with access to a bank of technological resources, adaptive tasks, and reference knowledge. Teachmate syncs in real time with Classmate, which is a chatbot for learners, such that you can give tasks and monitor engagement of learners with the tasks and learning material. Now, this is about Teachmate, so I'm not going to talk a lot about Classmate, but Classmate is sort of a sister to Teachmate that is designed specifically for learners. Now, there's a lot you can do in Teachmate, and at the moment, I'm just talking high-level stuff that you can do, particularly finding technological resources. And you're going to see when you start using it, you're going to find resources that you could not imagine you could find, and give those to learners or use those to structure your lessons in a way that sort of simplifies your life. Now let's look at the rationale behind Teachmate. Now, the example here says discovering and saving YouTube videos for lessons. YouTube is one of the best resources for education. There is video for every subject in YouTube, but finding relevant videos for each lesson can be a tedious task. Now, if you think about YouTube, there is a lot of videos in YouTube. The estimation is about 1, something billion videos are available on the database of YouTube. And YouTube has got another database or another repository called YouTube Edu. And YouTube Edu has got more than a million videos which are focusing just on education. And of course, when I say on education, I'm referring to the prescribed curriculum across the world. So the different curricula for the different countries. But there are also videos that are not about prescribed curriculum, but that are about learning, that are still teaching learners different things that pertain to what they're learning in school. And of course, the statistics is saying that about 51% of people that go to YouTube, which is about 62 million a day, they go there just to learn. So YouTube is a big classroom, and that is what I wanted to bring your attention to. Now, as a teacher, to find these resources that are relevant to your lesson is a little bit difficult, because you now have to sit and look at the videos and watch the videos. What if you could have these videos identified by AI, and then, of course, you can curate them and check if ever they are making sense, and then save them in a database in Teachmate. But imagine now if all the other educators that are using Teachmate are doing that. In no time, we've got a very big resource which has got resources that have been curated by yourself and then by other teachers, such that at any point in time, you can get these resources and use them in your lesson planning and use them in your lesson packs to give to your learners to use. So that is what I think is going to be a game changer with Teachmate. Something else that is important is the lesson preparation. When we talk about planning and preparation, we often refer to educators. And how I think about preparation is on the side of the learner. how is the learner coming to class prepared to engage, prepared to work on the concepts that will be discussed in class? Now, an important case here is that in order for a learner to engage, they should at least have some background that will be used to build upon for this particular lesson. So prior learning becomes key. And often we go to class and ask learners if they remember this and they remember that, and we think that they have enough baseline to actually learn the new concepts that we are teaching. But that is not the case. And what we are thinking here is you can give learners a preparatory tutorial that they can use to prepare for the next lesson. Say you give them a weekend tutorial to work on a weekend, and that weekend tutorial will cover everything they will need for the rest of the next week. So in that way, learners are preparing. Either they are watching a video and they are maybe reading some material that you've given them to read on Classmate. Then what happens is at the end, they have to answer quiz questions. And those quiz questions are the ones that tell you if ever they've engaged with the material. And of course, there will be a timestamp that tells you when did they start looking at the material and when did they end and when did they take the quiz. And based on the performance of the quiz and based on the time that that is recorded, you'll be able to tell if this learner has done this and has done that. And this is put into a Google Sheet where we can do analysis and see which learners are doing the work, which learners are not doing the preparation, and so on. So this is just the high level of the examples that you can think about with Teachmate. Another example is, of course, focusing on educators and is talking about professional development. And this is an area that I'm quite fond of because it is the only way that I think we can improve our education system. If we want to improve as educators, we can get better with time. And this is, of course, also influenced by my background in educator training. I've conducted a number of workshops across provinces for educators in maths and science. And I know for a fact that educators that want to learn, that are inquisitive, that are inquiring, will always get better over time. And I'm not just talking about the content that you are teaching, but I'm also talking about the pedagogical skills in terms of how you present this, how do you work with the learners, how do you understand your learners. And in Teachmate, this is going to be a big area that we're going to focus on, either doing it as inside Teachmate where it's self-directed and therefore you discover resources and learn yourself, or as other organizations come in to conduct these workshops that are going to help us improve, or the Department of Education running some of its workshops on Teachmate. So that is what we are looking at. It's quite an ambitious project, but I believe that it is meant to propel ourselves forward, particularly with technology, using technology to advance the way we teach and therefore to advance the way our learners learn and to prepare them for the future, because the future is going to be artificial intelligence. There's going to be a lot of other technologies, but the binding factor of all these technologies is artificial intelligence. And I believe that teachers should start now to see how this all works. And I'm, of course, inviting you to look at our video that is talking about grading or marking your scripts in mathematics using AI. We are in the early stages of developing this, but we can now mark mathematics using AI, and I believe that that will be quite a relief for some people once it works properly. And I'm believing that it is going to work properly at some point because we're putting all the work into it. Thank you.